Okay, we are picking up with the ants model, and we are trying to add in these food and home locations, home and the food locations into our visualization. So let's go back to our code and see where we are. Okay, so before we get into the server, we still need to fix up a few things in the model that I didn't do last time. So number one, let's try to actually run things here. We're going to say Mesa run server, and it says, wait, I don't know what this word home is that you're using. We need to go import the home and food in that section. Second thing, we had a single grid before, which is a grid that can hold a single agent. Now we are adding multiple things in those places. So we're saying, hey grid, place this agent in a location that already has something from up above. So let's see if we can fix that. We need this to be what's called in Mesa a multi-grid. Okay, and that means I need to be making here a multi-grid. All of the same arguments are exactly the same. They are both grids, but now I can have multiple things in that spot. Okay, so let's try to see if that fixes some of our issues. Great, I can run the server. I can't see any of them because they are not part of the server yet. Okay, so let's go back to the server code. Server code, we need to import from Diffusion what's going on there. But we also need to import these different types because we want them to look differently. They need to be portrayed differently. And so in order to be able to ask that question, what type of thing are you? We're going to say from agents import environment, food, and home. Okay, so now let's get down here to the portrayal. If the agent is none, we obviously return, but if there is something there, we need to be fixing it up. So let's change how we do the portrayal a little bit here. Let's do something different where we just say portrayal is some kind of dictionary. And then we need to fill it in like we did down here, just to sort of give us a new pattern for our code if we're going to fix this up. Portrayal of W equals 1. Portrayal of height equals 1. Portrayal the filled is going to be equal to true, and portrayal layer is going to be equal to 0. Okay, so that doesn't change anything about our code right now, but what we do want to do is start saying, wait, I need to know what type of agent you are. If the type of the agent is environment, then this is how I fill in portrayal. Otherwise, if the type of agent is, say, home, I need to portray you in a different way. Let's actually go through and do that. I don't want you to be a rectangle. I want you to be a circle. And I don't have a width and a height. I have a radius for a circle. I want this circle to be filled, true. I'm going to put you right now, you're going to be the highest thing out there. We're always going to want to see you. I'm going to put you up at layer 3. Portrayal color let's make you a nice brownish color here. You are the ant mound 964B00, and a little bit of alpha shading here for my last two letters. Normally you just see the hex code for 6 hex numbers here, but I'm going to add 2 more for a bit of transparency. And another cool thing, I'm going to add some text on top, and the text is going to be the agent amount. Oh, silly Adam. And then, what was that? Portrayal of the text color. Let's make that equal to white. Okay, so now I have 2 options in there. And oh, look, there it showed up. So if I zoom in here on my screen, you can see that home here is with radius 2. At layer 3, the text is 0. There are currently 0 things in there. We put it at spot 25, 25, and it has 0 food. This is nice. And notice how my browser keeps on opening up new things. Every time I save the files in a directory where I have it running, it starts the server again and gives me a new window. It is nice to just automatically, dynamically update what's going on. Okay, so we want to say food is going to look similar to this. Food is also going to be a circle, and we can give it a radius, fill it. Let's add it at a different layer just to keep everything separate. Let's make them green, 00FF00. And because they are a bright green, I'm going to make the text color to be black. Okay, so, ooh, there they are. Here are these 3 pieces of food out here, or 3 piles of food. They have 100 in them. And so dynamically, as those food stores are being eaten and taken away and put back in home, these numbers on top will be able to change for me. Okay, last things I want to do. I don't want it to always be radius 2. It'd be great to have a visual representation of how big and how many things are in there. So I'm going to say the radius is always going to be related to the log of the amount. So, save it again. Now I should be having larger things, but I think I got an error there. Why is that not showing me a larger amount? I should be having, oh, it changed it for home. Ah, I did the wrong one. Yes, copy. If I change it down here for the food, which was my intention, ah, there they are. Now I have really big circles out there when there's 100 food in there. I could make it larger. If you go back in the model and say, no, everybody gets 1,000 food. How does that change it? Those circles got much bigger. They are going to be scaling and dynamically changing as food is eaten. But they're not enormous. The log scale means it goes up by 1 every time you go a multiple of 10 or whatever the base is that we're using for our log. Okay, put that back at 100. And the last thing before we start adding in the ants, I don't want to have random pheromones starting everywhere. That'll be super confusing for the ants. So my starting model is just going to be a home and 3 food stores out there in the world. Okay, next video I will add ants and try to get them moving around this world.